another social commentary of bizarreness. All right. Yeah, not to get too melodramatic or anything, or sob story or anything, but hopefully this is reaching to those that are know what I'm talking about. Which I don't think it's a huge number, but anyway, hopefully it's where hopefully I'm connecting to the shadow band community that's out there. Jeez. Yeah. Joys of modern reality. So so Starman energy, or Starman, basically those that are not human here, are living among society that there's no way out. And for the man or woman, man or woman, or yeah, cat or dog, I don't know, whatever, man or woman, it's not just man, but for those that are incarnated here, you just cannot connect to society if your life depended on it. I don't think a lot of people here realize what that is. It's like you really just cannot connect. It's like you're just checked out. It's like you're just on a different timeline. You're here as a human. You have, you do human. You have to do the human stuff, but really interacting with it, living among it, like literally like fitting into it. Of course, I imagine a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't fit in," yada yada. There's like not fitting in, and then there's really not fitting in. It's like you're just really outside of it, like it's not a large percent, as some might think they are. Because if you have some kind of life or personal life, then you probably are part of this world. If you have nothing, then you're probably not from here. And doesn't mean, you just don't seem to attract. Your energy is so different. You can't attract anyone in this timeline because you're just so outside of it. Just they don't make them. They don't make people like yourself. And then most of us are scattered out. We're not, we're just scattered. I mean, obviously there's some people that are here as ground crew, alien ground crew, but that's some of them still have human attributes. They can still function here as a human, and there's others here that are just so outside of it. You're just really outside. It's like you cannot connect to this place if life dependent on it. You can fake it if you wanted to. You couldn't fake it. You couldn't fake being normal here if your life depended on it. So, unless we have like no life whatsoever, and you might have to function as for the job situation because you have to survive here somehow. Even that, if you didn't have to eat anything, you'd probably not even bother with that. So we have to have some kind of anchor into this reality. Of course, there's different type of ground crew beings here. Some just know how to interact with this energy here, and others are just reject it. Well, especially in society, most of it's like self-destruction. Check. Make a bad decision every 5 seconds. Check. It's like, self-destruction. Definitely the theme. So, and some of us that are just not part of any of those things, like obviously we have to go through our own stuff, clear out whatever we have to, not that we're perfect or anything. But like I say, you couldn't be human if your life depended on it. Even if you tried, faked it, whatever, phoned it in, none of it works. And even that's what I'm getting, like the universe itself and the spirit realm. This is why I get my view of it. It's like I don't think either one of them know what the hell they're doing. It's like I think even the universe, like, oh, the universe got me this and that. It's the universe doesn't. I think it's more clueless than we are. They obviously has rules and all that, but I think it's really, really kind of sad, actually, from my experience at least. And it's like a big black hole of we don't know what the hell we're doing. They're trying to, but it's still kind of it's like a board of directors or of a company, but they're still kind of figuring things out. Sometimes they get it right. Sometimes I'm not even sure what that means. But some of us that can't get it right for any. Let's put it this way: some people are easy and some people aren't. Like some they can figure out, and others like, oh, nothing's working on their end. And we're sitting here, it's like, so this is your, so you're the universe, huh? Yeah. Yeah, check you guys off my list of anything of relevance. And same as spirit world. That's another one. It's like, yeah, that's kind of no matter how many times you fire your guys, it's like, yeah. I guess you guys don't have. I guess you just damn, it's that bad. So yeah, it's like they can't even fake it or phone it in. It's like some of us that just can't quite. It's like they just can't quite get it right. It's like they just can't do it, especially when you get energy attacks from God knows who and everything. And they just a lot of beings don't want us here. It's funny they don't want us here, but we still have to be here. Like a walking, living target, basically. Of course, a lot of people have that too. There's different levels of it. Let's put it that way. That's why like you hear like people want this deep information, and all that. It's like, yeah, we get this deep information, and you get like mental attacks and everything from the overlords that are here, and is it even worth it? It's like, geez. Yeah. Another thing is the human gameplay. So that is the talked about yesterday about the I just left the title. I was going to change it. It was like, who cares? About how this is a game. Also, betting. I heard about this from some. I don't usually pick up on it. I'm too busy. I think they're just too busy trying to figure me out. And just can't get it straight for anything. They can't get it. They just can't. The guys can't get it straight. The universe is like, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. It's like, yeah, with you, it's not going so great over here. So how you doing over there? Oh, never mind, don't answer that. But the betting energy is like, there's bets. Now, this is for, it's all games. So how this works exactly, I'm not trying to get too paranoid with it or get people to think like, shit, is there people always constantly watching me and trying to bet if I'm going to do this right or not? That might be true. It's like they bet on if you're going to, you're going to throw your life away or whatever it is. You're going to improve. You're here to, like you're going to fall for the new age manipulation ascend. Like the whole world's going to ascend, and you don't see any progress there at all. Like you see the whole world like connecting to itself. No. Do you see like they ever go? No. I think it's more likely Jesus might show up by the time that happens, and that's not looking so great either. So, but on your own journey, there are beings that are betting, like, yeah, we're betting on you that you will succeed, or others that you won't succeed. There's always going to be that, like a betting that you will and won't succeed. Doesn't mean they're trying to manipulate you. I don't think that's the case. But there is some bets there. Now you can look at it from a human perspective or look at it from a higher dimensional experience. It's just, I don't know, just like if you can bet on yourself in a good way, hopefully. Hopefully, I don't want to bet on yourself. It's like, I'm probably going to fail at this. Whatever. Hopefully, it's not a big deal there. Hopefully, it's not huge. But yeah, it's another way of looking at reality. I think the other people picked up on. Yeah, and there are other third dimension. Yeah, there's our dystopian third dimensional worlds that have some idea of us and send in their creeps, their creatures here to derail us. Nancy Pelosi comes to mind. I wasn't looking for that one. It's like a freaking monster in human form. Doesn't even look human. That's the other thing. Some of these spiritual teachers, I throw some shade on it because it's you gotta bring this up every once in a while anyway. Just whatever, right? Some of them are not even human, meaning that doesn't. I mean, human meaning like it's not a good thing that they're like if some are AI creatures, some are just demonic beings that are here taking people for a ride. There's one that just died recently. I think it was a demonic being because it just I don't want to go into details of it. He just died abruptly. And it's part of all the spiritual tropes, all this I'll read your future, and I even had like a negative reaction from this is when I was first starting out, like way early, like 2011. I had like a negative guide attach itself to me because of him. It was someone on YouTube just like, oh, connect to a new guide. Okay. And a fucking negative thing I cleared it out, but it's like, jeez. So yeah, I think he's more of a demonic being. So and obviously with spirituality, there's going to be, trolls and demonic beings because they don't want you getting out of this. They're going to make things as difficult as possible. And people are looking for this positive message every 5 seconds because that's all they can handle. They're not ready to clear themselves out, so they're going for the sugar and spice stuff, and they're not realize that it's all manipulation. Because the demonic beings, it's twisted because they talk about positivity. Oh, I'm just trying to be so positive, and they're demonic. They're pieces of shit. And they're talking about positivity. So there's none of that there. It doesn't exist. But man, they like saying it though, and people fall for it all the time. So I'm a positive person. Yeah, I got attacked by somebody earlier this year. So I'm a positive person. Attacked the shit out of me. And kept saying how positive she wasn't positive at all. It was like a demonic attachment and for some kind of agenda and so on. And they love saying the positive thing because it kind of like gives them like, oh, I'm doing the right thing when it's you that's bad and all this. I'm not doing shit. You're the one that's being acting like a psychopath. So yeah. But yeah, in spirituality, because they talk about the ascension, yeah, and things are connecting more to the spirit realms. Obviously, these beings here don't want you to, so they're gonna make the gatekeepers or to make it more difficult. Obviously, society keeps falling for the positive messages and all that. Oh, this thing's positive. Oh, it's unicorns and whatever, and they get fucking. They're not going anywhere, but they think they are, and that's the majority of it. Well, this is sophisticated. It really is. They don't want us to know anything, or they want to keep us trapped. Make you think you know everything, and keep you in prison. Think the ascension is coming. Someone's gonna come save you. Wherever they can throw at you, they don't care. And so it's a mental game. It's a game. It is part of it. Yeah, some of it's Orion. I think there's it's magic energies, there's all kinds of stuff. So I'm not sure. I don't know, talking about this, I'm not sure where I'll get a visit from. It should be okay, maybe. Guess we'll find out soon enough. Where is that? Inside of comment, prep sessions, schedule. It's sessions and then start here. Okay. Yeah, the biggest trickster energy out there is they want to make you think you know everything. That's the biggest. Oh, you know everything. You got it all figured out. Yeah. Yeah, if they can pull out the narcissist out of you, they'll do it. Because then that means that you're easier to control that way. Because you think you know everything. You're easy to mess with. You're easy to control, pilot through all of this. So that's why a lot of spiritual teachers are freaking arrogant as shit. Well, some of them are being taken for a ride. They don't realize some of them know they're being taken for a ride. They don't care. They're there to manipulate the shit out of society. And they don't care. So it's messed up. All right. Okay. So yeah, that's what I mean. Is like you go through all this stress, this whole journey. It's just like you think about the past. Like, oh, I don't want to think about the past. Like, geez. And then some wise guy talks about is in the spiritual community. He can do everything wrong and then get everything thrown to him. And he says, yeah, everybody has an agenda. It's like that's not the case. It's like not really. Just hopefully you find yourself, and that's the whole point of it. This, but there's no agenda. It's just, I mean, but if there is an agenda, it's just for you to evolve, figure yourself out, whatever it takes to do that. But that's not my job to hold your hand through that. But and then someone to say, "I was having an agenda," it's like, what are you talking? It's like that's like something a cockroach would say. That's like a bug. That's a cockroach, basically. Oh well, whatever. I'm not sure if those true colors ever show up. Like it actually turn into a cockroach being. So yeah. So yeah. All right. Obviously, there's beings that are doing this, and they use attractiveness to make this all work, and it's working. So, all right. All right. We're going to Starman Energies. Do a short message on that, and then uh, gambling, spiritual gambling, or bets. Yeah, I'm not sure how much more I can tap into that. How much it allow me to see. So, all right. All right, we're going to Starman Energy. Yes, here we go. 3 blessings. Greens are from our astral, neutral energies. So, those of you that are, yes, as a star person, a star being, realize many of you reject the manipulations here in this reality. So you don't connect with society, well, because you don't want to go for that ride that they're on. You know, it's just like many are taking the bus to manipulation, and you're just not interested in it. I mean, obviously, yes, you have your own clearings to do, but you don't have to go through the tests that others have to go through. It just you see it, yeah, you see it more. You just see like the bus of reality, the manipulations that many get onto. We just call it that because that's kind of like what it is. It's like here's a manipulation energy that just showed up, and who gets on that train, and you just stay off of it. You take a different route. Yes, and it's more lonely there because so many fall for a lot of these trickster frequencies here. That's something they have to figure out on their own. But they are growing. It's just sometimes they go through a challenge and they can't get off of it. So you get on a roller coaster and now you can't get off until it's done. And that may be 10, 20 years, whatever it might be. Yeah, ready to take responsibility for yourself and not get pulled into these manipulations. And there's so many of them here. So that's why some of you feel so disconnected from society. You're not falling for the same tricks. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going through your own turbulations, but it's nothing like what others go through. It also shows a lot of maturity to come into, it's just not, you just don't feel like you're connected. It just shows where society is. Society just keeps falling for all the tricks of the trade, basically. And that's part of the galactic war that's occurring also. So you're not getting pulled into the social, manipulations that are so much. And it's hard. Yeah, you might feel like you're fighting this alone and you're not. It's just, it's just where society is at. Is that society keeps getting pulled into all of these wrong directions, and you just find a way not to get trapped by it. That's another way how you don't have to incarnate here again either, because you're just not falling. Because many they make all these mistakes, and they get karmically attached to this planet. It's hard to. I mean, they might exit this world, but a lot of them get slingshot back here. Because it just has to do with the decisions they made here, and some feel like that was the right thing to do, and it caused them a lot of difficulties. Now they have to clear out a lot of the issues that caused that one decision. How many more problems they that came with it. So now you can step out of that, but many don't want to. Some they like the adventure, if you want to call it that, or they justify their mistakes. Let's put it that way. Even if they didn't have to do any of that. For betting here being, there's a version of that. There is it doesn't, you have to look at it from a negative point of view, but there is different points of view of it where it can be also helpful that you're going to, well, especially those that make one bad decision after the other, like they make a career out of it practically. And you do have your spirit team that does bet on you to get out of it eventually. So that's a good thing. And they say it's connected to your guides and things of that sort. Some only channel, they only trust channelings, they don't trust the intuition of others. And that's also a reflection on themselves and not trusting also their own intuition. Be surprised. Of course, channelings aren't perfect either. But some that just have their own intuition hijacked to for whatever reason. And that sometimes has to do with just their enjoying the darkness here and keep making the challenges to build up more dark, because they just like the feeling of it. You could say the excitement of it, the arousal of it, but they, but to pull themselves out of it's a whole other story. So, but as for the Earth being a game, well, there are beings that do treat it like a game, yes. And they don't care about society at all. That's why they have those political manipulations. They just, they realize that it's all frequency. It doesn't matter what the politicians are saying, really. It just has to do with the energy they're putting out there to just cause, people are wondering, why am I getting triggered so easily? Was because you're being attacked, you can say, to fall for all of these manipulations. There's so many of them. And just when society is not really in touch with itself, internally, it's easy. It's like you're being played like a record player. Like literally entities are treating you like a record. You put you on a record player and they play different songs. They play you basically until you're ready to not be played. Not everybody's being played. Some of you star people are not being played. You feel it, you can see it, but you're not being put in those situations, but others are. Like others can't get out of it. So once they're being played like a record, there's nothing you can do. You just stay out. Technically they could disconnect from it. But they got themselves there for a reason. So, let's see you with that. So it's a little bit cryptic with that, but what we do in that process.